Hey, YouTube fan, konnichiwa. I love Japan. If you haven't gotten that memo by now, you should have gotten it. So, out of my love for Japan, a couple things are coming today. So, I'm going to start my introduction on my three-part series, The Japanese Philosophy Towards Leadership, because leadership skills is something that I've been reflecting on a lot in my last job. And so that's what we're going to get into today. So, because of my love for Japan, you're getting this knowledge and you're also getting the code for Jade Leaf Matcha. So, if you want 25% off on their sustainably sourced matcha from Japan that's now available in America, you can use my code Nisha25. So, I'm going to get into no, it's Nisha in all caps. Nisha 25. And I put in the description the website. And they also sell this matcha at Target, but if you buy it online, then you can use the code. All right, so the Japanese philosophy towards leadership. The first concept we're going to talk about is Kaizen, which means continuous improvement. So Kai means continuous and Zen means improvement. I have a whole flow chart on this series. So we've got the Japanese philosophy towards leadership. And I've done a lot of research, so I'm going to condense this information in the most easiest to understand way as possible. So we're going to talk about, and part one is the introduction. Then we're going to talk about business. Then part two is going to be about hospitality, Omotenashi. No, I'm sorry, Omotenashi. Nai will be like without. And then we're going to talk about education in part three. So Kaizen is important. It's interesting because I'm in the Tennessee, Kentucky area now, and they have a lot of factories here. And I've seen some of the factories here. They have charts up, hanging up called the Kaizen line. And I was like, what is that? Is there things written in Japanese in these factories? Because I could definitely help with that because I was a Japanese major. But Kaizen, so what a lot of Japanese companies do as far as continuous improvement, they'll have a flow chart with Kaizen on it, and they have ways that a company can improve, and they'll go over it like with group consensus. They'll talk about ways to improve. And basically what continuous improvement, what Kaizen is kind of like, let's say in January you want to get more fit. So you want to do push-ups every day. So on the first day you'll do one push-up, second day you'll do two push-ups, maybe on the third day you'll do three. By the end of the month you're doing 25 to 30 push-ups a day. So you do a little bit more and you keep getting better incrementally. That's what Kaizen is. The next philosophy towards leadership in Japan is Omotenashi, which is hospitality. So in Japan, back in the samurai days or the feudal era, you didn't know whether you were going to live or die. So the Japanese became very big on enjoying life and having sincere, caring hospitality. So that's why when you go into a Japanese restaurant, they say "irashaimase." That means welcome, because it's something that's ingrained in their culture. Because they really believe in like cherry blossom season. The cherry blossom became a symbol like life is short, because during the samurai warrior class days, you one day you're alive, the next day who knows, maybe somebody will clip you. You don't know. So they became very big on the beauty of the fleetingness of life. So we're going to talk about hospitality in part two. And Japan is also big on the concept of wa, which is harmony. So it's a harmonious society. Like I could see that in Asian culture. Like I've been to Korea, and when you go through TSA in Korea, it's so much of a smoother, like a smooth process, a smooth experience. And when you go through TSA in America, I felt stress coming back. But Japan, the old name for Japan was like I think Yamato. They're big on harmony. And then the next philosophy is Nema Washi, which is consensus building. That's a big word, consensus, because in America we're more individualistic, like especially in the West, but they're like in Japan, they're big on teamwork, everybody agreeing on something, and then they come up with a plan and they execute it. And it's important that things are harmonious, they're efficient, they're budget friendly. And I would say that this philosophy, if you can apply it, if you can apply Japanese principles, it can improve your life. It can make you more peaceful. It can make you more organized. You can use these ideas in your meetings at work. At my last job, I spoke up and I talked about how we have different personalities on the team, but we need to use teamwork. And I love that that's ingrained in the Japanese culture because a team is only strong as its weakest link. I think in the West, sometimes we forget about that. We do the power plays, people, but sometimes we forget that if one person on the team is struggling and you didn't do something to help, then that means you failed them. So the first part of the Japanese philosophy towards leadership is business. So the Japanese philosophy we're going to talk about as far as business in Japan, it's important to have innovation, keep striving to make the business better. Teamwork, there's that wall, that harmony. It's important to think as a group, not just think individualistically. And they are in Japan, trees are seen as sacred. They're tree loving people. So they like to be sustainable on the environment. They have parks in Tokyo that they have trees that give off. There's some of the, yeah, they have indoor trees too, but they have beautiful parks and they know how to be in harmony. There's a concept why again, in harmony with nature. So there are some buildings that have like trees or plants inside, and they like to be sustainable, not try to tear up the environment. And Toyota, in my research, I learned that Toyota actually has a 10-part Kaizen and continuous improvement plan, which I thought was really interesting. They don't call it a plan, they call it a philosophy. And I love Toyota. That's all I drive the past 6 or 7 years is Toyota because they're quality cars and the and with I learned this when I worked for Toyota Financial Services. The Toyota logo has like a bunch of ovals in it because and I love Toyota. I may be biased because I love Japan, but Toyota has ovals in their logo. Like if you look at the steering wheel, the key, because Toyota is all about the relationship between the company and the customer. So when I worked for TFS, Toyota Financial Services, I wanted to work for the main Toyota factory because they take care of their customers. They get a Christmas bonus and they get I forgot what else it is. They get the Toyota employees get a Christmas bonus. It's a pretty generous one, which not all American companies have. They used to back in the day. They had generous pension plans, but that's kind of we're in the age of Pluto and Scorpio. It's the age of more of exploitation. So we've kind of forgotten some of these principles in the West. But Toyota has that relationship with the customer, and I learned that when I worked for Toyota that they really work with the customer even when they get behind on their car loans. Toyota gives them 90 days and they can actually pay all 3 months in a lump sum and get their car back. So if you get, if you have a Toyota and you get your car taken back, then you were really, really behind and you didn't try to communicate and work with them. But I learned that, and they're good cars. Toyotas have expensive parts, but they really pay for themselves in accidents but they're big on continuous improvement. And there's some Japanese and Korean factories in this area, and the Japanese factories do have Kaizen flow charts. So it's all about consensus building and quality. So with Toyota, Kaizen, that continuous improvement begins in the early designs of a production line and continues through its lifetime by use of process of consensus. So there's that, well, consensus. It's when they come up with an idea together. And Japan is all about quality and innovation. Another thing I really respect and appreciate. All right. So next I'm going to go into part 2, which is about hospitality, and I'm going to talk a little bit about the innovator or the creator of the tea ceremony, Seno Rikyu, which we talked about a lot when I learned Japanese in college. I remember talking about him a lot in Japanese class. But I've had people tell me I'm very zen, and I love that. I'm very chill because not everybody can say that. Yeah, Kaizen continuous. It's like a cycle. Like there's Kaizen flow charts. Okay, material flows. Oh, Kaizen was used. It has origins in post World War II. Like there's a lot of research that goes into this. I'm trying to find a flow chart. Yeah, Kaizen means good change or improvement. So there were groups of workers that focused on preventing defects at Toyota, kind of like quality assurance. So with Kaizen, with Japanese business philosophy, they get the employees really involved, and they try to identify problems that need to be fixed, and they come together harmoniously to create a solution. So it's all about creating solutions, rolling them out, testing solutions, measuring them and analyzing them, and then repeating that on an ongoing basis. And Toyota, that's one of my favorite companies. They really value quality and innovation. And someone even told me, like, I drive a Japanese car, and someone told me that my car is a quality piece of equipment. When it doesn't work, I have to sometimes get someone that specializes in Toyota, because Toyota is all about precision and innovation. As you can tell, that's one of my favorite Japanese companies. So I know a lot about them. So I use that as an example. All right. So if you like that, if anything resonate with you, like and comment, then I'm going to go on to part 2, hospitality. Peace.